Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. This week, each of Lee's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest, and it's up to David's team to spot who's telling the truth. So please welcome this week's special guest, Jerry. So, Sean, what is Jerry to you?
This is Jerry, and he was the policeman who came to investigate when I was heard screaming during a Christmas game of Twister.
Right, Sean's concerned copper. James, how do you know Jerry?
This is Jerry. He's the fireman who every Boxing Day soaks me with water during a festive game of squirt.
Right, James's fireman friend. And finally, Lee, what's your relationship with Jerry?
This is Jerry. He's the paramedic who ticked me off last Christmas after I landed my drone in his ambulance.
David's team, where to begin?
Sean, you were playing Twister.
Yep.
What was the occasion?
It was in between Christmas and New Year, and me and my family had gone away and rented a cottage.
And why did you scream?
Because I think I had my left hand on red and right foot on green.
Tricky.
Tricky. And we'd all had a few drinks, and...
What was the time? What time of day?
Oh, it was evening.
Right.
It was evening. I'd say about 10:30ish.
OK.
And my uncle fell on my face and I screamed. And you would scream, wouldn't you? You would scream.
Was he a friendly uncle?
Very friendly.
If you've been affected by any of the issues raised in tonight's show, there is a website you can visit.
It wasn't a horrific scream. It was fun. I was having fun. I was just a bit hysterical.
Could you reproduce it, Sean? Could an actress of your stature reproduce it for us now? Imagine Lee is this uncle who's a little too friendly. You're never that happy when he turns up, no matter how many presents you think, oh, it's Uncle Lee. Oh.
I like the way that you said she's a good actress, so she could play the part of the screamer, but I could just play the untoward uncle naturally.
So, there you are. Why don't you demonstrate the Twister? James, what are you doing?
Playing the Twister mat.
It wasn't a scary scream. It was like a... because I was having fun scream.
How did the neighbour next door hear it if it was just a little scream?
Did the uncle let out anything as well? Did he...
certainly did not.
So what happens then? So suddenly there's a knock on the door.
Yeah.
And what happens when Jerry arrives?
Well, we're all just having fun at this point. We've all had a few drinks. We all invite Jerry in, see if Jerry wants a sherry. He was really lovely about it.
Right.
So is there a police station in this village? And they're all on duty at Christmas week, are they?
There's always got to be a policeman on duty somewhere.
To look out for madmen like you pushing donkeys down lanes. Now, what about James?
OK, James.
Just remind us, James, what it was that you said.
Jerry is the fireman who every Boxing Day soaks me with water during a festive game of squirt.
Oh.
OK. What's going on?
Squirt is a game.
Is it?
Yeah. 2 teams of firemen.
OK, so that's... For a game of squirt, the first thing you need is 2 teams of fire.
And they go either side of a river.
Yeah.
And you get a rope and you tie it up in a tree at one side of the river, and then you run it along and you tie it to a tree at the other side of the river.
Yeah.
But before you've tied it to the other side, you thread a barrel across it.
Of course you do.
Just thread a barrel.
Yeah. What if there's a fire in the local area during the lengthy setup for a game of squirt?
Well, he's not... They can't put out fires anyway. He's only volunteer.
Sorry?
They're just a volunteer fire brigade. They're not allowed to put out fires.
What are they allowed to do? Just look at them?
They are permitted to pick up litter.
the fire engines and everything from then?
Their fire engine's an old one. It's more like a ice cream van that's painted red.
The volunteers, do they have the uniforms?
No. The Kettering Volunteer Fire Brigade have a T-shirt and it has an emblem on it of a fire being put out by a beer.
Talk us through the rules of squirt.
OK. You get the barrel to the middle of the rope, right in the middle of the rope, and then both teams aim their hoses at it.
Are the volunteer firemen allowed real water, or do they just mime it?
No, they're allowed water, they just can't aim it at a fire.
OK.
If there was a fire, they would have to turn the hose off.
Right.
So what happens next?
Someone's like, go! And then they both turn their hoses on and they aim it at the barrel. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the barrel, trying to squirt it along the rope so it gets to the opposition side of the bank. And all the water is hitting this barrel, and we're standing on the bridge. Getting soaked.
Yeah.
And then you walk home going, good squirt this year.
Right, now then, what about Lee?
How did you come to land the drone in Jerry's ambulance?
We have this really weird tradition in our house where we like to keep dry. And so I thought, what I'll do is I'll fly my drone, but I'll stay in the house. And the window was open, and I thought...
The window was open because it was a very hot Boxing Day.
The window was open. The window was open because my wife always has the heat on very high over Christmas, and I'm not a fan of radiators, so I opened the window. Yeah. And I was practising in the bedroom, and I thought, I'm so in control of this, rather than go downstairs and fly it, I'm just going to go straight out the window.
Was the drone a Christmas present?
The drone was a Christmas present, correct.
Who gave you a drone for Christmas?
Not you, because you got me nothing.
Yeah.
It was my wife.
Your wife got you... It's a very romantic present. A drone.
She's heard me say it to her a lot during the year. Drone, drone, drone.
Why was there an ambulance there? Had your wife called it as a precautionary measure?
The ambulance was actually the house over the road, and as I was flying the drone, I looked over, and a man was carried out on a stretcher. And I think, can't quite see what's going on, but I thought I'll have a little look at that. And my drone has a camera attached to it, so I fly my drone over. That's getting closer and closer. You know, I'm getting quite a good...
It can help, I think, when someone's just had a heart attack or something. Something shocking or strange can really helps them really get it together.
I thought so. Yeah. And so I was watching it and I thought, this is interesting. And then he gets put in the back of the ambulance and the doors stay open and Jerry goes in the back. I thought, no, I'll have a little look, see what's going on. So I get a bit closer. And now I'm hovering just outside the back doors.
Yeah.
And I pushed forward a little bit too much and the drone went straight into the back of the ambulance, striking Jerry on the back.
This presumably hurt Jerry because the rotors of a drone are very fast.
Yeah, oh, yeah, he was a good 3 or 4 inches taller than this last year.
So Jerry spots you leaning out of your bedroom window with a remote control. What does he then do?
Oi! I said, give me my drone back! I can't really repeat what he said on television
Okay, he swore.
because... No, he's French and I don't understand French.
We need an answer. So, David's team. Is Jerry Sean's concerned copper, James's fireman friend, or Lee's peeved paramedic?
Oh, I don't. I mean...
I think it's James's.
You think it's James's?
Yeah.
I think it's Sean.
I mean, I think we're agreed Lee is lying.
Yeah.
The question is it James or Sean?
I think it's a mate of James's from the pub who was a volunteer fireman.
I'm not happy about this. Because my instinct is that James is telling the truth.
Right.
But I know what that's saying publicly. I know what I am then believing. I'm believing a game that is played across a river between volunteer firemen with a souped-up ice cream van and squirting a barrel in which the locals come and stand and watch in just the place where they get splattered with water.
What's it going to be?
I think it's James.
You're going to go with James?
Yeah, go on,
Jerry,
I'm saying it's James.
would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Jerry, and I'm a volunteer fireman who soaks drains in Boston Bay.
Hello, Jerry.
Yes, Jerry is James's fireman friend. Thank you very much, Jerry. So please welcome this week's special guest, Jake. So, Oti, what is Jake to you?
This is Jake, and on the German version of Strictly, I knocked his tooth out with a high kick.
So, Oti's damaged dancer. James, how do you know Jake?
This is Jake. When he split up with his girlfriend, everyone blamed me instead of him.
Right, James's breakup buddy. And finally, Lee, what is your relationship with Jake?
This is Jake. I once knocked him into a grave with a frisbee.
So there we have it. Oti's damaged dancer, James's breakup buddy, or Lee's frisbeed friend. David's team, where to begin?
OK, so why were you on German Strictly?
Oh, so I live in Germany, and that's where the UK version found me.
And Jake was your...
He was the celebrity.
What does he do?
He's a weatherman.
He's a weatherman.
Wetterman.
What is he?
Wetterman.
He's a German weatherman.
But he's very talented because he's a weatherman. I mean, this is difficult to do.
Well,
and
is
he can dance. I have a lot of admiration for the weatherman and weatherwomen.
Yeah, but that's because all you're doing is showing people to tables. It probably looks really skillful.
How good a dancer was he? Because on Strictly, you often have people that aren't very good.
We made it up to week 9.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, in German, that's 0, so it means week 0.
No.
Nine means
It's
no.
close enough, Rob. It's close enough as a joke.
9 does not mean 0.
It means week no, OK?
No,
Just
it
let
doesn't.
it go.
No, because the joke doesn't work.
Well, I think you'll find that all us lot disagree.
So what happened? You said you hit him?
Yeah, so this was during a live show, right? And the worst part is that was the end of the number. So you have to go there and stand by the judges.
No, the worst part is he knocked his tooth out. Typical dancer mentality, and the worst thing is we got judged terribly.
But did you get through to the next week?
Yeah, it's Germany. They vote.
Germany have got a terrible history for voting for the wrong person, don't they? Why is that an ooh? Surely you would agree with that.
Yeah.
Why is that contentious?
No,
Is that a room splitter?
Yeah.
Oh, no, we liked Adolf Hitler.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm just contemplating the rise of fascism.
What about James?
James, what's the scenario?
This is Jake, and when he split up with his girlfriend, everyone blamed me instead of him.
Why?
Because I had to deliver the news.
What do you mean?
We wrote a letter together. We were like 15, and it was Jake's first girlfriend, and he hadn't got experience of how to break up with people. And to be fair, not even less. And we decided, he's like, I've got to break up with her, and I don't know how to do it.
Why has he got to break up with her?
They weren't really clicking, they didn't have much chemistry.
Right.
Did you write it together?
Yeah, we wrote it together in a field.
Do you remember that letter at all?
It was, I remember it started off with, Dear Yvonne, this is the hardest letter I've ever had to write.
Why were you in a field?
We liked to go for a lot of walks, me and Jack.
I can see what's happening in here. Am I the only one that knows what's happening here?
Why didn't he write it on his own? Why you?
Because I think he was worried he would say the wrong thing, and so we tried to, like...
So he wanted to make sure?
Yeah, it's like, maybe we can work on it together, and we sat down in the field and we wrote this letter.
And can you remember more of the text?
I think I know that it didn't really drop the bombshell until a little bit in, because I remember when I gave it to her, to begin with, she was very excited to receive a letter from Jake. And then she was going through.
Did you stand there while she was reading the letter?
Yeah.
You stood there?
Well, I just stood there. So she was in my form.
Yeah.
So I had to go over to her table and go, oh, this is from Jake. And she was like, oh, Jake's given me a letter. And then all the girls on the table were like, yes!
Why did you give it to in front of other people?
I was 15 years old. You're a grown man.
Did she look at you, like, did she blame it on you straight away?
Yeah, as soon as they all got to that bit, they all looked at me and were like, and were really furious with me and really angry.
Right. I see.
And Jake was, yeah, I mean, Jake's a wild boy. They kind of expected it from him.
When you say wild, what exactly do you mean?
He went through a phase when he used to jump in the school long jump pit naked. He played Mr. Hyde in a play and licked a girl's face. I was in a band with him.
Really?
Yeah, he was a keyboard player, but he couldn't play keyboard, so we turned it all the way down. Then we chucked him out the band and he smashed his keyboard up in the woods.
He really is a wild man. All right. Now, what about Lee?
So, Lee, what's this grave frisbee
Just remind us, Lee.
This is Jake, and I once knocked him into a grave with a frisbee.
So, how did that happen?
Well, there was a frisbee, and it hit him, and he fell in the grave. I mean, what more do you need to know, David?
Were you in a cemetery?
I was just on the edge of a cemetery. I was on the other side of a wall of a cemetery.
Mm-hmm. And so, what were you playing with? A friend? Kids?
Yeah, I find frisbee on my own quite hard. I know what you're thinking of. You're thinking of this is Jake, and I once hit him with a boomerang, and he fell into a grave.
So, who were you playing frisbee with?
With my son.
And how high was the wall of this cemetery?
It was about... it's quite low. It's about 3 foot, 4 foot. It's a very, very low wall.
In French?
No, it was in the countryside in England.
No, because 3 foot, 4 foot is what in French? I don't know.
It is 4 foot. No, sorry, it's 4 foot.
What was he doing in the cemetery?
What was he doing?
Yeah.
He was actually the grave digger. Look at his face. Of course, I'm telling the truth. I say grave digger, I mean body snatcher.
Right. Why were you there? Were you on holiday?
I just was having a day out to some church my wife wanted to see. So my wife and my son and me, we went off. We went off to a field, had a look at a church. My wife loves the church. She had a look at the church. Me and my son are not interested in church. Are you all right there? And I said, well, me and you, we always take a frisbee because everywhere she goes and looks at, we're often on Oxford Street when she's shopping.
So how did she find out about that particular church?
She went on Google when she was looking about slugs.
So how did he fall in the grave?
Because he was looking at his hole. The hole he just dug, and he obviously just finished. He was very proud. It's a 6-foot hole. It takes a long time to dig a 6-foot hole. Trust me, I know. I've buried a few. And he's looking down, thinking, I finally finished. And but as luck would have it, my son missed it, went over his head, hit him on the back of the knee, and he's gone straight in.
OK.
How did you know he fell into the grave?
How do I know he fell in the grave? Because there was a fella stood there and then he wasn't.
All right, we need an answer. So, David's team. Is Jake Otie's damaged dancer, James's break-up buddy, or Lee's frisbeed friend?
I don't buy the dancing, but I think James's story is very plausible, and they look alike anyway.
That's not a rule.
They're not claiming to be brothers, they're claiming to be friends.
Well, you have to have a reason. That's my reason. There you go.
What are you thinking, Danny?
James. I really believe this story.
Yeah. David?
Yeah, I think probably James.
Oh, OK. There's no doubt within your team, David.
There's no doubt.
We think we know, and which is absurd, because, of course, we don't. But,
Jake, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Jake, and James helped me break up with my girlfriend.
Yes, Jake is James's break-up buddy. Thank you very much, Jake. So please welcome this week's special guest, Mick. So, Gabby, what is Mick to you?
This is Mick, and I deliberately tripped him up during the wheelbarrow race at my son's sports day.
OK, James, how do you know Mick?
This is Mick, and for 6 months, he was my sworn enemy when a practical joke got out of hand.
And finally, Lee.
This is Mick. He's my son, and I'm only allowed to see him every second Friday. Sorry, no, that's not it. This is Mick. I once took him home from nursery instead of my own son.
So there we have it. Is Mick Gabby's cheated child, James's feuding friend, or Lee's traded toddler? David's team, where would you like to begin?
Well, Gabby, the wheelbarrow race, you were also a competitor. What was the format of the race, and how did the accident
Your
happen?
classic sports day wheelbarrow race. Child is the wheelbarrow. I was driving my son as a wheelbarrow, and Mick's mum, Barbara, was driving him. And there's always a lot... I feel our family gets a lot of pressure on sports day because my husband was an international rugby player and I did sport. And people always look at us as if they're the ones to beat. You know, I always feel that added dimension of competitiveness.
You were a rhythm gymnastic, weren't you?
I was a gymnast.
Yeah, I think they're looking more at him. Carry on.
So we were in the lead, my son and I. And you know, like in your peripheral vision, you can feel somebody coming. And as we got to the turn, they were level with us, and my son's arm buckled, and which is for a wheelbarrow race is a bit of a no-no. So it takes you a couple of seconds to recover. So now we're behind.
Quite painful for your son as well. Perhaps that should be the main concern.
Classic sports person. Oh,
That's a no-no. We need this.
We got back level with them, and I'm ashamed, obviously, about what happened next. So I can feel, you know, these horrible thoughts coming into my mind. You know, we could take him out. You know, we could.
Wow! Come on, this is why we've been taking all the drugs.
And I stood on his hand, and so I know.
Deliberately.
You were thinking we should take him out.
So he then slightly buckled. So
Which is a no-no.
He got himself back into the race, and I decided that I couldn't let us win because that could be construed in some people's eyes as cheating, standing on the opposition's hands.
And in some people's eyes, physical assault.
So I had to then sabotage us because I couldn't let us win. So I deliberately kind of pushed my son into the ground.
So you assaulted 2 children.
I kind of just, you know, pretended to trip onto Reuben. So,
Right.
and then his arms buckled, double buckle, which is a no. And that meant...
Reuben is your boy.
Yes, oh gosh, yes, yes.
You know, the one with the face like that.
All right, who would you like to speak to next?
OK, James. So Mick became your sworn enemy because of a practical joke.
That got out of hand.
That got out of hand.
Yes.
So what was the practical joke or prank?
First of all, I'll say for the record, before we carry on, I hate this boy. I'm nothing but content for him, and I'm furious he's got on this show.
I just think I feel I can only see him every second Friday.
So what was the practical joke, James?
He put cabbage leaves in my bed.
How did he get in your room?
I was staying at his house.
On a sleepover? How old are you?
A few years ago.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't have been born.
He was 9.
And you were, what, 31?
I was, what, 28? 29?
And how do you know him?
I know his dad. He's his son.
And you were staying at their house?
Yes.
Why did he put cabbage leaves? Why is that a thing?
Well, it's not a thing until he started doing it.
Yeah.
There's something severely wrong with him. I don't know why he started.
But you say
following this kind of
started
stunt.
doing it. Was
Yeah.
He, what do you mean? This is a one occasion when you're
is
staying
it?
there. Well, I don't know.
This is the first of many, David. I said got out of hand. I do not use those words lightly.
So you regularly stay at the house of...
Oh, no. Oh. This little man does not restrict these pranks to his own house. He has no respect for anyone's privacy and will cross any boundaries available to him. I hate him with all my heart.
Yeah. So he initially put cabbage leaves in the bed you were sleeping in when you were staying at his father's house.
Yes.
Right? And then subsequently...
Yes.
He has followed you and put cabbage leaves in other places you've been sleeping.
No.
OK? What then?
He sent me a cabbage in the post. He sent me half a cabbage, cling filmed, in a box. I was out when they delivered it. I had to go to the post office to pick it up. There was a note inside that said, "You got cabbaged again."
So, OK, so he's doing that. Did you, bearing in mind that this is a minor, did you at any...
It was a major, as far as I'm concerned.
Did you at any point retaliate?
Yeah, but it took me 6 months.
What did you do?
After 6 months of this...
Well, but you say 6 months of this.
Yeah.
What is this? There's the initial cabbage leaves in the bed at his house.
Yeah.
And there's the posted half cabbage.
Yeah.
Anything else?
His granddad cabbaged me to my face.
What does that mean?
Gave me a present. It was all wrapped up nice. I thought it was a nice present. I unwrapped it. It was another half a cabbage wrapped in cling film. Members of the public started cabbaging me. I made the mistake of talking about it on the radio, and then everyone got the idea, and I couldn't turn up to a gig without there being a cabbage hidden somewhere in my dressing room.
Well, thank God you're playing safe and not saying it on telly, eh? Yeah.
So, did you retaliate?
Absolutely did. I removed all of his belongings from his bedroom and replaced them with cabbages.
That's, I would say, a disproportionate response.
6 months of my life, David. 6 months of my life of not knowing where the next cabbage was coming from. It was horrible. I had to go big. I've been cabbaged so many times. Somebody started a Twitter account, was tweeting pictures of cabbages on me every day. They said stuff like "Oi, oi, Savoy." It was horrible.
And that was just the tip of the iceberg.
It's a lettuce, you idiot!
No, but come on, cut me some slack!
No. I would say that anyone who can enjoy that joke about a lettuce would have to be a sociopath.
All right, on to Lee.
Lee, remind us of your story.
This is Mick. I once took him home from nursery instead of my own son.
Why did you not recognise your own son by using your eyes and knowing what he looks like?
I do recognise my own son. But we had this new pram, and the pram... I put him in the pram. He was very young at the time, because, well, you have to go to nursery. And I put him in the pram.
At nursery?
Not a pram, a push
They're
chair.
a pram when they're sort of tiny.
A push chair, you made one mistake. You say lettuce, you say a cabbage, they're on your back. You say pram instead of push chair. I get to see him every other week. I'm stressed. I put him in the push chair, and then I got chatting to all the other mums and dads and stuff. Got chatting, turned round. Little did I realise that one of the other parents had exactly the same pushchair. And because he was asleep, I just didn't bother talking to him because I thought he was asleep. Pushed him and got all the way home. Long walk as well, because he goes to school in London and we live in Aberdeen.
How long was it before you realised?
Probably Glasgow. It was about... believe it or not, preferably do.
Yeah, that's very much the question.
Believe it or not, it was as I went into the front door and I pushed him towards my wife, who was coming towards me, and she said, "That is not my son."
But the other mother would have recognised her
Yes.
child, so let's go to the other mother.
Let's go to the other mother.
What happened there?
So, obviously, I'm not there to see the other mother. Because
No, but presumably in the police interview later, you've gone through those details.
No, I knew it would be a bit of a nerve-wracking experience, so I thought I'd better play safe and just keep him. And that's what we did. We just ended up bringing up another child. So I got into the house, pushed him into the house. My wife said, that's not my son. So I went, oh! I realised immediately what had happened, obviously. I turned round and I raced back to the school very quickly. So I got in just in time for them to go, what are you? And then...
So you got back just in time.
Got back in time.
Just before Mick's mother was going to start screaming, my child has disappeared, my child has disappeared.
Yeah, because what had happened is she was getting a bit frantic, but someone had calmed her down by doing the obvious and pointing to the child and saying, use your logic here.
Yeah.
There's a
child abductors don't tend to leave a child as well.
So, David's team. Is Mick Gabby's cheated child?
Maybe.
James's feuding friend?
Maybe.
Or Lee's traded toddler?
No.
I think that the cabbages, that is a good trick, because cabbages, when they get warmed up, stink. I also have, been to many a sports day where the parents do get incredibly competitive. I would probably lean towards Gabby.
What about you, Melvin? Which way are you leaning?
I believe Gabby, but James is just weird, so I believe him even more.
Your paranoid view seems to be the whole country's in on it. Now everyone's sending you cabbages.
Every time people laugh at me, I suspect they're my enemy, which makes my job very difficult.
You think Gabby, but James even more.
David thinks it's me, so...
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. James.
You're going for James. Mick, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Mick, and I am James's worst enemy.
Mick is James's feuding friend, and here's the proof that is what James did to Mick's bedroom. Thank you very much, Mick. It's Sam.
Oh. I was once a body double for a Headlice advert.
David's team.
What do you mean a body double?
I had Headlice at the time.
OK.
They show the boy, and then they show the back of the head with the lice. I was not the boy, but that back of the head, and those are my lice.
So when they were casting the advert, they thought, well, we can't cast someone who's necessarily infested themselves.
The lady who invented the comb, it was her son.
Which comb are we talking about?
The Knitbusters comb.
Knitbusters?
Yeah.
So is the person that invented the comb for Headlice...
Yeah.
Her son was in the advert?
It's called nepotism, David.
Odd name for your son. Yeah. Where are we in Australia, Sam?
Oh, you're not having one of your breakdowns again, are you?
This is in Queensland, dude.
How did they know you had Headlice? Because you don't advertise that, do you?
Best friends with this guy, yeah. Him and I were as thick as thieves.
Right, so was it like one of them shopping channels?
Weirdly, I think it was on the news. It was at the end of the news, they'd be like, and now we've got this comb.
So it's on the news?
Yeah.
I thought you said it was an advert.
Here are the Headlice.
Yeah. I think it was a thinly veiled advert, and, so sue me.
You think it was advertorial, that's what you're saying? When was this?
I was pretty young at the time. 10 or 11.
When was that?
When I was in primary school.
Yeah,
when? We realised that. We're trying to ascertain the year.
A year on.
Maybe year 6, I guess. No way, I was much younger.
You haven't said what you had to do in this advert or this appearance.
So I just was the back... like any time you see someone's hands in a movie, that's not really their hands.
That's not true.
That is true.
What you mean is sometimes when you see someone's hands.
I think every time.
Not every time. Sometimes when they scratch their face, that's their hand. If you see Tom Cruise scratching his face, there's not someone going...
Cruise has got a scratcher. Cruise has got a scratcher.
So, in the 1990s, there was a breakthrough in the treatment of nits in Australia. A new comb was marketed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was so great about it? What was new about it? That the previous
I think
nit
the
combs...
spacing between the teeth on this comb was just really gobsmacking.
Up until then, they were like that far apart. They just...
Unless it's a very big nit.
Yeah. It's the obvious design feature to tinker with on a comb, isn't it?
How did you feel when they offered you this? Because in the one level, oh, I'm going to be on the telly, but showing my nits.
I mean, I know this guy who's dancing in a window to get his foot in the door.
All right, well, what do you think?
You know, mainly because you mixed up advert and news. Otherwise, I'm totally buying it.
Me, I think definitely lie.
I think lie. I think we do think it's a lie. I mean, you have a disconcerting presence.
No.
So in
You
a
say
way...
the warmest things to the guests, David.
But there's also something ghostly about you. I wouldn't be surprised if at the next recording they said, wasn't it weird that on Lee's team we only had one guest? I said, no, there was another guest, Sam. He was from Australia. And Rob says, there is no such place. But I think we think it's a lie.
They're saying it's a lie.
It's a lie.
Sam, truth or lie?
That's true.
No!
It's true. Sam was a body double for a Headlice advert. Please welcome this week's special guest, Michael. So, Charlene, what is Michael to you?
This is Michael, and he once buttered my finger when I got Lorraine Kelly's wedding ring stuck on it.
Right. Sam, how do you know Michael?
This is Michael. He's the cab driver who made me late because he stopped mid-journey to play the trumpet.
Lee, what is your relationship with Michael?
This is Michael. He is a master watchmaker, and I am his apprentice.
So there we have it. Charlene's handy helper, Sam's musical mate, or Lee's timepiece tutor. David's team, where to begin?
So, sorry, whose ring did you put on, Charlene?
Lorraine Kelly's. Lorraine's.
And why did you do that?
Well, she'd been a guest on Loose, and she mentioned her husband and talk about relationships and stuff. And...
Sorry, Charlene, when you say loose,
Sorry.
loose women, right?
Sorry, loose women.
Yeah, hey, welcome to Wood.
Which is Rob's favourite chat line.
Sorry, Charlene.
Sorry,
OK.
no, and during the show I was looking at her ring, and it's so beautiful. I can't tell you how beautiful her ring is. Gold band with, like, a shed load of diamonds in the middle.
And is Lorraine a dear friend of yours?
Well, I know I've been in her show a couple of times.
Yes. She's lovely, isn't she?
I wouldn't say that we're besties.
When I say she's lovely, you ignore it. Interesting.
So I popped into her dressing room to say thank you.
To lovely Lorraine.
And I was looking at her ring again.
Yeah.
And she just said, do you want to have a try?
You can imagine Lorraine's... Oh,
She didn't just have a look.
Have a try. Have a try.
And so she'd have a look, have a look.
Give it a go.
And so I had a look.
That's Billy Connolly. I don't know why I've gone there. Why did they do that? I don't know.
So I was quite swollen. So I put it on.
Welcome to Wood.
And then I couldn't get it off. So
And Michael just happened to be, what, lurking in the corner?
No, Michael's one of our floor managers over at Leeds.
With a pocket full of butter?
So in the same room that we have our debrief, there is a fridge in there.
So when you had the ring on, was you not in the room where the butter was?
No, I was in a panic. Michael was going past in order to go to the debrief.
Okay.
And he heard me struggling because the door was open.
Why
I was
is
like, "What's
Michael
wrong?"
going to the debrief?
Because he comes to our debriefs.
What does a debrief on loose women involve?
They just take their knickers off, surely.
What did Lorraine feel about the fact that her nice ring's now got quite a lot of butter in it?
all the dressing rooms have ensuites. So I ran straight into the ensuite and basically started washing it and really hoped it didn't ruin.
And then the main diamond popped out into the toilet bowl, which wasn't blocked, and down it went.
Luckily, Bono was there. And he said he still haven't found what you're looking for, then.
He said, I would have been here earlier, but the streets have no name. OK, so is that the end of the story?
Joshua Tree.
What? Nice to be involved, isn't it? All right, who would you like to quiz next?
OK, Sam.
Remind us of your statement.
I know Michael. He was driving a cab that I was in. He made me late for an event because he stopped the car to play the trumpet.
He's got the trumpet in the cab?
Yeah.
Did you ask him to play the trumpet? Did you say, hey, mate, can you play that?
No, he said, where are you from? And I said, Australia. And he said, I can play any national anthem on the trumpet.
Where are we, Sam?
I don't know the suburbs very well, but we were going to the Museum of Public Executions.
Hang on, was it a black cab?
Yeah.
And remind us, I couldn't hum the Australian national anthem if I tried. What does it sound like?
Can it waltz in Matilda?
Or is it the theme to Home and Away? How does it go?
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are free. That's the first part.
It's rousing, isn't it?
If that doesn't get you ready for battle, I don't know what does.
How had you found this black cab?
In the city.
Hang on! Before he said we were in the suburbs.
I didn't say the suburbs.
You did. You said, well, I was in the suburbs somewhere.
Now I see where you get this confusion, and I forgive you.
You forgive me?
This is in like... That's where the exhibition was. It was out of the way.
I totally understand that you don't know the geography of these places, because obviously none of this really happened. Where are you saying you were when you got this black taxi?
I was in, like, the city, you know, around that area, the pigeons, big buildings, the city. Businessmen.
Businessmen. How had you got to the businessmen pigeons bit of London? Is that where you are saying you live?
On my own street, where I live?
Yes.
36.
Don't give your address for television.
Why not?
I just wouldn't...
This is Soho we're talking.
Soho?
Oh,
there we go.
Now you're in Soho. Right.
I'm sorry to shock you there, but they are not businessmen.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a form of commerce. Now...
Let's shift our attention to the actual when he started to blow his trumpet.
Yeah.
And where did he get it? It was in the front with him, presumably.
He had the trumpet under his, like, I guess, second seat.
The passenger seat.
Yeah, but except in a black cab, there isn't a seat there.
There's no seat there.
Which you wouldn't have seen from the back.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still learning about this.
You're on your own after that one.
Amazing city.
Nevertheless, when we pointed that out, you had the look of someone who'd been discovered.
No. Don't ever try to read my face, because that's private.
Unlike your address.
That's brilliant.
Now, Lee, remind us of your statement.
This is Michael. He is a master watchmaker, and I am his apprentice.
So, you're changing careers. I'm glad to hear it.
Oh, I'm not changing careers. No. It's an interest of mine. It's a hobby.
Yeah. What's your favourite watch?
So how did you get into it?
Well, it's always fascinated me how a watch works. And I thought, how does a watch work? Do you know what happens inside a watch, David?
I do. My granddad used to mend watches, and my dad was a fanatical watchmaker. So.
Oh, God.
So
Can you ask now a lot of technical questions?
See, he's not wearing a watch, guys.
Oh, he isn't wearing a watch, but
Have you got my watch?
How did you get in touch with Michael?
He's got a YouTube channel for watch repairing and the like.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'll learn to repair a watch. I'll learn to strip a watch and put it back together again.
How did you get in touch with him?
We contacted him through YouTube. He's got a link.
OK.
And
I know you know as much about YouTube as I do,
Yeah,
so
I know,
I can say anything, can't I? Reached into the screen and...
clicked on his link and the doorbell rang. And so you're his apprentice.
Yeah.
Where do the lessons happen?
Apprentice is a loose word. I would call myself his apprentice because...
Because that was a lie you were given on a panel show.
I just got into watching his various videos, and then eventually I contacted him, and he was nice enough to do a one-to-one session because I was stuck on one particular problem.
But I want to know, what's your favourite watch? You didn't answer that question.
The watch I worked on, it was the Seiko 5.
Seikos are digital, aren't they?
Well, that's why I ruined it. I felt such an idiot when I said to Michael, I said, why is it not ticking?
Said you got stuck on a problem.
Oh, there was a complication.
What was the complication?
It
was a problem.
It was a date.
And the complication was what? Mending the bit that told the date.
Oh, you heathen. The complication is the date. That's what you call something on a watch that isn't the hour or minute.
Oh, the complication. Yes, I think that's right. I think when a watch has more than one feature, then I think they're called complications.
Well, there you
If
go.
it had the day and the date, it would have two complications. So what's the problem with the watch?
Nothing wrong with the watch. I just bought a watch to see what it'd be like to take it apart and put it back together again.
Right.
Big cogs?
Big cogs.
Big cogs.
Oh, big cogs I really like doing it.
No. Big cogs. Have you got big cogs in your watch?
They tend to call them wheels in watches rather than cogs.
That's another thing he's given us.
Yeah. Wheels and complications.
And you have a one-to-one session with Michael.
Yeah.
And what happens in the one-to-one session?
Michael Bolton, by the way, that's his name. And he's got two friends. One's called Andy Murray and the other's called Dennis Taylor. Genuinely true, that.
While we're on genuinely true, is he a watchmaker and you're his apprentice?
No.
All right, we need an answer. So David's team, is Michael Charlene's handy helper, Sam's musical mate, or Lee's timepiece tutor?
I don't know Sam well enough to know whether he'd be a good enough liar to seem so implausible about the truth.
We could have dinner.
And also, black cabbies, they do like to talk, but they're not going to get away with getting out of the car and playing the trumpet. They're on a meter.
Are we happy to rule out Sam?
Let's rule out Sam.
OK.
Sam's got to go.
I'm really happy because I've never got it down to me and one other before. This is fantastic.
Wow.
He is so good at talking
very
that
good.
he could double bluff us. This could be true.
It is true.
I just
Or
think...
is it?
Charlene, what I want to know, is that something that women do? They say, would you like to try on this ring?
I wouldn't really want to take mine off and let someone else put it on.
What's it going to be, David? It's time to be masterful and make a
Instinct
decision.
from the gut. Will, which is it?
Charlene.
Charlene.
I think it might be me.
You think it's Lee?
Yeah.
You...
Can you picture him in a shed with an eyepiece like that?
Yes. The thing is about Lee, he's obsessive. He could really get into something like that.
Oh, God. You hide under his bed one day and you get this for the rest of
David, you have to step up.
Come on, David.
Side.
Lee.
Oh!
Same as Lee.
Yeah.
Well, this is unprecedented.
Wow.
Michael, would you please reveal your true identity?
Hi, Michael. I've been teaching Lee watchmaking.
Yes, Michael is Lee's timepiece tutor, and we have some proof. There is Lee, look. They're on a Zoom together there. And then we have another one. There's more to you than meets the eye. Thank you very much, Michael.
When customers complained about my behaviour in a supermarket, I received a particularly harsh punishment.
David's team.
Oh. Are we to infer that you were employed by the supermarket?
I was an employee.
In what role?
Checkouts.
And what was it you did then that upset them?
So people would buy like a roast chicken that had been pre-cooked, and then...
It's the only way you can get a roast chicken.
And it'd be in sort of a bag,
Right.
but when I would bag it, I'd put it in the bag and then I'd kind of give that a flick, a little, like kind of a flourish before I'd put it down.
Yeah.
I was swinging the chickens. Customers were complaining.
Sorry, so you're at the checkout. Where are the roast rotisserie chickens? You don't acquire them at the checkout,
No,
presumably.
people were buying them and taking them to the checkout.
OK, so they arrive at the checkout.
In Australia, when people shop, they get the stuff and then they take it to the checkout. You scan it and then little, yeah.
I've read about supermarkets, I know all that. It's your job on checkout to double bag the chickens.
Yeah.
Is there not a risk that your swinging technique might splatter juices, you know, all over everyone?
No risk, no reward.
No risk, no reward?
You got to risk it to get the biscuit, brother.
What is the biscuit in this analogy?
Just a splash of colour in people's lives. You know, they're eating this
So
chicken,
to get a
it's
splash
sad.
of colour, the entertainment of that gesture, you think the risk of essentially splattering chicken fat in a wide arc, it's worth it?
Did you say you had a strange punishment?
This is not from the boss, but the supervisor. The circus was in town.
What?
The circus came to town.
The circus came to town. I wasn't expecting that.
To advertise that someone with a monkey came and they were handing out flyers outside of the supermarket.
Hang on. Is this the same story?
Yeah.
There's a monkey now?
I'm serious.
Come on.
OK, Sam, go on.
So everyone else was taking their break. They were going out to look at the monkey and to admire it. And because I'd been up to all this stuff with it, I was not allowed to go on my break to look at the monkey and never got to witness it. I wanted to go out to everyone else, and my friend came back and he goes, you wouldn't have wanted to see it. It was covered in scabs. And the boss and the supervisor, I don't know if I should even mention this, they were having an affair and they were going on cruise ships together.
They were having an affair.
Can I just tell you now, right? In this show, if you're given 3 different truths or lies, spread them out throughout the show. Rather than think you've got to do them all in one story.
The supervisor doesn't like your chicken swinging.
He says we don't do that kind of thing here.
And you said, swinging? Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Right, it's time to go for your guess, then.
Can we pass just this one?
Okay.
On Mastermind you can pass, can you? You don't have them sort of going, no, guess! Guess who was the Emperor of China in the 4th century?
It's down to you,
Well,
boss.
that's...
It's down to you,
I'm
Dave.
going true.
You're going to say? Ooh. All right. They think it's true, Sam. Was it true or was it a lie?
It was true.
I once called a friend in New York and asked her to call the police in London because I thought there was a burglar at my house in London.
Lee?
Where were you when you made the call?
In the house.
Why didn't you phone...
The police?
Yes.
Because I'd been messaging my friend. I felt like she'd gone, so I called her, and as I was on the phone to her, I thought there was someone breaking into the house. So I was like, you should phone the police.
What did you hear exactly?
I just heard, like, irregular noises from downstairs.
Irregular
Footsteps,
noises?
Doors closing, so I was like, well, who's that?
And were you living on your own at the time?
I did have a housemate.
And did you not think it might be that person?
No.
Why?
Because at the time, I was doing a nighttime radio show. So I would get home late, and she'd always, like, be quiet when you get in at 1 o'clock in the morning, because I'm asleep.
Ah, so you assumed her to be asleep?
Yeah.
Why don't you put the phone down and phone the police?
Because I didn't want to speak in case the burglar...
But you are speaking, you're telling her to phone the police.
Well, I was like, I need to go. I think there's someone here. Call the police. So that's why I had to get off the phone and not use the phone.
Well, look, Nick. Let's reenact it.
OK.
I'm going to be your friend.
OK.
In New York. She's an American.
She is.
Thank God. I thought you were going to say, by coincidence, she sounds like Ronnie Corbett.
Yeah, no. She's a very sassy Jewish lady.
All right. Yes. Now, Nick, how are things going over there? Did you say she didn't sound like Ronnie Corbett?
No, she's the opposite to Ronnie Corbett.
Oh, she's like New York Jewish kind of person, like that.
Pretty spot on.
OMG!
finished your radio show. How did it go?
I love your impressions, you know that. But you're texting, we don't need the voice.
Oh, he wants me to call him. Sure, I will.
Hi, Amy. How's America?
Oh, I love it. There's so many Americans here. Hey, what's that noise
Hey,
in the
what is that
background?
noise?
I heard something.
I can hear something downstairs.
Oh, you were having trouble with your stomach again?
No, like downstairs. It's something like downstairs in the house downstairs. I'll pretend to be asleep. You call the police.
What, the NYPD?
No. My police.
All right, I'll call.
Okay.
Love you.
So I put the phone down, and then I just go like this. And then fear for my life.
Well, hold on, because it's all happening stateside.
Well, I mean, we can go on like this all night.
So then what happened? So go on, talk us through the rest of the story.
So then she makes the call.
Yeah.
So that's like, call the police, because there's not the 999 number, there's like the police round the corner, you know, the local police.
She went and logged on and looked for your local police station.
Yeah.
Why didn't
you
you
don't
phone...
have to log on.
Why didn't you phone 999? Listen, Sunbeam, you do on my Atari.
So she called the police.
Yeah.
And then it turned out that it wasn't an intruder at all.
How did you find that out?
I found that out when my flatmate burst in.
What's she bursting into your room for at night?
Because she had been on the wine. So the bang, bang, bang noises were her, like, looking for wine or something, I don't know.
And you said what?
I said, oh, my God.
Hypocrite.
I said I thought I was going to be killed by the intruder. The police are coming. So then we were like, well, we need to call the police now.
So you phoned me back in New York. Go on.
No, I didn't phone you.
You want me to cancel them? They're on their way, honey.
I just went direct to tell them.
Yo, so when you want me, I'm right here waiting. But when you don't want me, you just drop me. Well, screw you, Grimshaw.
I'm not surprised Amy doesn't have any friends where she lives.
What are you thinking, Lee?
What do we think, Rob?
I believe it. I
believe it?
I believe this man. I've been taken for a ride. I like it.
You're starting to sound more and more like Amy every day.
So what are you thinking, Claire?
I believe it.
Well, I think it must be true then.
True. OK. Nick, truth or lie?
It is true.
I am currently seeing a hypnotist to cure me of my compulsion to visit hypnotists.
Well, I don't think this is going to take too long. How long have you had a compulsion to see hypnotists?
Well, it started off, I had a fear of heights, and I visited a lot of different practitioners. It is a serious enough thing. I mean, it's unusual to be this high. And yeah, I tried hypnosis, and then I seemed to be getting something temporary from it, so then I ended up visiting a lot more hypnotists.
What were you getting temporary from it?
I was getting some relief from it for a while.
From your fear of heights?
Yeah.
So you're now relieved of that at this point. Why would you go back?
Oh, because then the relief is temporary, so I ended up going back, and then I ended up getting really addicted to visiting different hypnotists.
What do they do?
Normally they just put me under for a minute.
Put under
then
what? Put water?
They make me, it's serious, they make me lie on the ground.
So they make you lie on the ground? How's that going to cure your fear of heights? Surely they should make you lie on top of the cupboard.
Well, I am knocked out during this, and then when I wake up, they put me on top of something high.
Oh, all right. So how many different hypnotists have you seen?
I don't know, it's into the hundreds at this point.
Hundreds of hypnotists?
It was costing, most of my income was going on it. I mean, I would do whatever money I could get was just going straight into hypnosis then.
How long have you been seeing the one you've been seeing now for to get you off seeing the hypnotist?
Well, this one about 2 years now. I mean,
so the man you've been seeing for the last 2 years has been specifically for the problem that you want to stop seeing hypnotists. Not for the height thing anyway. Just I'm addicted to hypnotists. I need to stop. That's what you're seeing him for.
Yeah.
And you've been seeing him for 2 years.
We're nearly out of the woods.
Do they ever touch you in any way?
Generally, the sort of severe vertigo hypnosis I get doesn't involve physical contact, but it does involve being winched up.
Winched up?
Well, winched up to get the height, so then when you come around, you're at a height and you think this is normal.
When he puts you under...
Well, this is going back when I had the serious problem.
Well, let's go back to that problem. But they interest me, the winching up. So they put you out and then you're gone. Do you remember being... Did you wake up and go...
No, you're gone. You put on a sort of Velcro suit at the start, and then...
Are you aware of what they're saying?
No, it's like I'm gone, and then it's come down from up there on top of the cupboard.
So they winch you up, and then winch you down onto the cupboard.
No, I can get down because I've been hypnotised.
So, but you've been winched up to go on top of the cupboard
while I'm under.
Yeah. So he winches you up, and slightly nudges you over the cupboard, and winches you down again. Why does he have to put you on the cupboard? Why does he just winch you up and keep you winched? What's the advantage of being on a cupboard over being winched up? Have you got a fear of being up high on cupboards? What's the name of the hypnotist you're seeing?
Dr. Spanks.
Never before. You're doing really well. I don't think I've You know when you start a sentence and you don't know how it's going to end? It's never happened before with just two words, doctor and Spank.
He's German!
Oh no! He's German, yeah?
German. It's very emotional.
It's a tricky one.
Well, it's a tough one.
I'm going with you on this one.
What do you say?
Even if I believed everything else, I've never met anybody German called Spanks.
It's S-P-E umlaut. G-H-N-K-S.
You've just ruined it.
Oh, is that what ruined it?
Because there is never an umlaut on an E.
There's never a man being velcroed and winched up on a cupboard. That's the bit you ought to be focusing on, not the spelling of his surname.
Right. So, Lee.
I'm going to say it's a lie, then.
He's saying it's a lie. David O'Doherty, was that fantastic tale the truth, or was it a lie?
Incredible as it seems, that is a lie.
Yes, unsurprisingly, it's a lie. David isn't seeing a hypnotist to cure him of a compulsion to visit hypnotists. I went to see a hypnotist once. All the time he was saying, look into my eyes. Sorry, not hypnotist, optician.
OK, well, I'm still blind. Neither of my PPIs work. David, would you save us all a lot of time and read my card out for me, please?
Gladly. During lockdown, I bought a pogo stick to use as a homeschool teaching aid.
Right, Lee's team.
OK, so, Chris, have you got children?
Just the one.
And this was for, what, your homeschooling PE or something?
Yes. When we did homeschooling, we split up the tasks. I was in charge of PE and maths, and my wife was in charge of reading and art for obvious reasons.
And what age is your child?
During lockdown, she was 6.
And do you do anything else for PE or just pogo stick?
I'm quite a lazy guy, Lee. So I realised that when you're on a pogo stick and you're bouncing away, what you're trying to do is see how many you can do.
How many repetitions without touching the ground?
Yeah, and maths
You have
is
to
also...
touch the ground, Lee, to be fair. Otherwise it's levitating, which we still haven't mastered.
I appreciate you said it for comic effect, Rob, but you know exactly what I meant.
Well, what I tried to do is I realised that how many is also what you do often in maths. And I could consolidate all of my teaching efforts into one tidy little package of minimal effort. So I invented pogo maths.
OK.
And you just shout out some sums and they have to bounce out the answers.
But Are they experienced in pogo sticking? Because it's quite hard.
Well, I mean, it does help if you can use a pogo stick first, so you have to get over that hurdle, but that's, you know...
You have to get over a hurdle as well.
I appreciate you said that for comic effect.
Thank you, Rob.
We have a pogo stick.
Yeah, well, it's Chris's card. Make him do it.
I don't think the BBC's got enough money to cover the insurance on this.
Don't worry, I've got this covered, Chris. Like the card, let David do it for you.
There is a pogo stick behind you, I believe.
Oh, my gosh.
There it is. Don't do it there, and make sure you're 2 metres away from me.
Right.
Down you go. Now, Chris.
Hang on, let me have a practice go first.
He's not doing
This is
it,
going
Chris.
really well, Chris. Dead easy.
Are you ready?
Yes.
What is 8 minus 5?
OK. The problem I've got now is if I bounce and fall off after, say, 2, you don't know if I'm bad at pogo or bad at maths. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Give it.
Well, this is good because you've got to get them all right if you want to do dinner tonight.
Shall I just see how many I can do?
Yeah, let's see how many you can do.
I'll try and jump up onto that. How about that? Don't do it, Lee, don't do it!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I've got no idea what's going on.
So, having experienced it...
Yes.
Do you think he's telling the truth?
What do we think?
I didn't know they still did pogo sticks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Imagine how hard you could hit the ball with a spring-mounted snooker cue. I mean,
that's a good point.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking about this story?
The more I think about it, the more I think it wouldn't work because the white ball's going to spin back.
No. We're talking now about the maths and the pogo.
Right.
Do you reckon it's true?
I think it's true that Chris is lazy.
I'm not really blind, it just gets me out of doing things.
Listen, tell me about it, mate. I do it all the time myself. How do you think I park so close to Sainsbury's?
I think he's lying.
You think he's lying?
I think he's lying as well.
You think he's lying? We'll go with my team and say he's lying.
OK, saying it's a lie. So, Chris, maths on the pogo stick. Was it true or was it a lie?
Pogo maths, copyright, Chris McCausland, 2020. True.
Oh! Sorry.
Yes, it's true. Chris did use a pogo stick to teach his daughter math. Kevin, you're next.
I once accidentally bought a horse.
Sorry? You bought a what?
A horse.
A horse? Sorry, I missed the S.
You claim that you once accidentally bought a horse. Am I right?
You're right.
Right, fine. We're all clear. Under what circumstances? What did you think you were buying?
I never thought I was buying anything. I thought I was renting.
Did you think you were renting a horse?
Yes.
Right. So you paid to rent a horse, and then at the end, when you tried to return the horse, they said, "What the hell are you doing?" I've been trying to get rid of Psycho for years.
That's pretty much it.
How long had you imagined that you were going to rent it for?
We thought we were going to rent it for like 25 minutes.
And did they charge?
It was in Bulgaria on holiday.
OK, so what did it cost in local Bulgarian currency?
What is the local Bulgarian currency?
It was 200 lev. Lev, L-E-V. I don't know how you pronounce it, but lev.
200 lev.
200
How
Bulgarian.
much is that in sterling, roughly?
Roughly, I
At
think
the
it's
time?
At the time, I think it was at £90. So we thought it was a good deal.
£90 for 25 minutes?
For 25 minutes on a horse.
But you said we thought we were going to rent it for 25 minutes.
There was me and my friend.
So you
It
were
was a
going to
lad's holiday, we were 18, we thought
half
we'll go horse riding.
In Bulgaria?
in Bulgaria.
Did you question the odd sort of time slots they were going for?
No, the
I've
guy-
never been pony trekking, but I imagine they sort of rent you the horse for perhaps a couple of hours.
Oh, the
or,
guy-
or at least a solid half hour.
You get 25 minutes and then the horse needs a break for 5 minutes and then
And
somebody
then
else
you keep
comes.
the horse forever.
I never knew that.
What happened when you tried to take it back?
The guy explained to us that the guy was gone. The guy...
Never say the phrase on this game. The guy explained to us that he'd gone.
Well, there was two.
Never say that.
There was two different guys. There was two guys.
Go through me if you want to speak to my client.
There was Guy A. Guy A.
That's a Bulgarian name.
It's very well known. The most famous Bulgarian name.
Guy Dimitri. I think that... No, Guy A. And Guy B. Right? We thought we were going horse riding and we were heading towards the place where you actually hire the horse.
Stables.
The official... the stables, right?
Honestly, even I think he's making it up, and I'm on his team.
Bit of patience, Brian. Come on, right. We met a guy on the way who had a horse, and we thought he was doing that thing, in Asda, when you've got a shopping trolley, and you're taking it back, and somebody else needs a trolley, and you say, "Oh, do you want this one?" So we thought the guy was saying,
"I don't need to go all the way to the actual stable. I'm from the stable, so just hire this horse."
That's what the guy said.
Yeah.
So we thought, all right, there was a bit of a communication breakdown. There was a Bulgarian guy trying to speak English and two Scottish guys trying to speak English. So we thought the guy had gave us the horse to ride and come back in 25 minutes.
Were you not surprised that... I mean, I've never been on holiday to Bulgaria, but I imagine that things would be a bit cheaper in Bulgaria than in Britain. Were you not surprised that it cost you the equivalent of £90 to hire a horse for 25 minutes?
It was 25 minutes each, so it was two of us.
Yeah. Right.
So we chipped in for a horse. For 25 minutes each.
But still, even if you thought you were going to get 25 minutes each, that's a lot, isn't it?
Oh, it's an hour. You need to give the horse a break, as I said.
But let's forget about the 25 minutes.
Just forget about the horse.
Let's
forget about the horse.
That's absolutely, obviously bullshit. You take the horse back. Guy B, who's the guy you met on the way to the stables...
He's gone.
He's gone. No sign of him.
No, he's gone.
So you say to Guy A, well, we hired this as part of your not bothering to actually go to the stables but getting it a few hundred yards away scheme. We hired this horse for 25 minutes at an extortionate rate. Nevertheless, here it is. And what did he say?
We went back to the place where we picked up the horse.
Oh, so not to the stable?
No.
But to the random
never got
point in the road? 100 yards from the stable, thinking bewilderedly, where has the mysterious man gone? I would have thought that logically, when you were returning it, having thought that it had come from the stable, but you'd been lucky not to have to walk to the stable before hiring it, you might nevertheless have thought, well, the stable's where it's got to go back to, rather than, well, Sodom, this is where we picked it up from, I'm not actually taking the stable. I'm going to stand here, 300 yards away from the stable, going, come over here! Come and get your own horse! At which point locals start waving, going, no! You keep!
Kevin, look at me. You're taking the horse back.
Look at me!
What happened next?
Come on, Kevin. Come on.
Right. So where are we taking off from?
You're taking the horse back.
Let's go back to the start.
Kevin Bridges, for the love of God, please tell us what happened.
Right. We bought a horse. We thought we'd rented the horse. We'd done the horse riding, took it back to the initial place we picked up the horse.
Yes.
Locals explained we'd went to a counterfeit horse guy. It wasn't the official horse riding stable.
This was a counterfeit horse. This wasn't a genuine horse. This was maybe two guys in a costume.
That would explain the 25 minutes.
Yeah.
I can't only do 25 minutes.
The giveaway was after 25 minutes when one went. Right, let's crack on, lads.
So, David's team, what do you think? Truth or lie?
I mean, the trouble with this game is it plays tricks with your mind. But I don't think it's true. You don't really.
It's got to be, hasn't it?
Got to be a lie.
Got to be a lie.
Yeah.
Saying it's a lie. Right, so here we go. It really is.
Here's the moment.
This is more than any other episode I've done of this show. This is the moment we've been waiting for. Kevin Bridges, is it true or is it a lie?
It's true.
Unbelievable.
Whilst test driving a car as a potential present for myself, I crashed it.
Lee's team.
OK, what was the car?
Like a Tesla.
Like a Tesla? Was it a Tesla?
Yes.
Oh, they are like Teslas, aren't they?
What did you crash into?
What would you call it? A gantry? It wasn't like a full crash.
It was a prang.
A prang is exactly
Just a prang.
Oh, OK.
The crash happened in the shopping centre, in the car park, and I'd already completed the test drive, and I quite liked it. And the guy that was with me for the test drive got out of the car. I didn't realise he'd left the back door, the gull wing door, open.
Oh.
And so I drove and took the door off the car.
How much did you have to pay to, like, redoor it?
To redoor it? Redoor it! We're all happy with the term redoor, are we?
Can I just remind you, Jimmy, he's 15. You're going to look really bad if you slam him.
Christmas!
I'll wear it.
I'm only little.
It's only little. It's not for you.
What was the question?
How much did you have to pay?
Well, so I took the door off the car. The guy that had been doing the test drive with me, obviously his jaw was on the floor. He was, like, a bit
That
shocked.
had come off as well, had it? I think it's on a gantry.
So I wound down my window and leaned out and went, I'll take it.
What, in the condition it was in?
No, I'll have a new one, obviously. I'm not an idiot. But I thought I had a moral obligation to buy it. I'd made a mess.
So where was this in the world?
Westfield.
What do you think?
I just don't think Jimmy would ever pay for a car. And also, the idea that Jimmy bought it out of guilt. I'm not sure Jimmy has that emotion.
So, what are we going to say?
What do we think?
I think it's a lie. Yeah, a lie.
I'll go with my team.
They're going to say it's a lie. Jimmy, was it a lie or was it actually true?
Oh, well, I can tell you it was...
I once accidentally made my nan eat something she shouldn't have.
Ooh. Made your nan eat something. What was that thing?
It was a toenail.
Ouch! True, let's just move on.
I need to ask a question. Is your nan still alive?
She is.
Yeah.
Well, you sounded rather regretful there, Lenny. Are you keen to get rid of the old bat?
Yeah, he's just making... It is June we're recording this, and this is going out at Christmas. He's just hedging his bets.
Yeah. Can we just do different takes? Just say one no, she isn't, and then one she is.
Okay.
Just we have both options.
Is your nan still with us?
No.
I don't think we should do the version whilst Rusty's laughing. Is she not alive? No. Boom! Boom!
And where are we?
We are in my... I'm weird now. We're in my bedroom.
You're at home in your bedroom?
Yeah.
And what happens?
Sorry,
I thought it was very funny the way you said, where are we? You said, in my bedroom, and you changed it to, so you're
Yes,
in your bedroom.
I did.
I'm not there anymore. Carry on then.
That's absolutely
That's
right.
what happened, wasn't it? I'm not going to say the wee thing again. Why are we in your bedroom? I'm confused, man, in your bedroom again.
Get out, Rob, get out.
Just to be clear, I'm not in Lenny's bedroom, and I never have been. Have I, Lenny?
For legal reasons, no.
So you're in your bedroom with your nan. What happened next?
Just had an operation in March on my back and sitting on my bed, and I realised my nails look a bit long on my toes. So I cut them. Basically, I had a Reese's Pieces packet. So I'd put the nail in the packet, my nan to come to visit me after my operation. Then she said, oh, I like Reese's. She picks it up. And she's got half a nail hanging out.
Merry Christmas, kids.
What do you think, Jimmy?
Well, firstly, I think it's true, and I think also it serves her right. Yeah. You're meant to bring the person who's recuperating some treats.
That is wrong, actually, isn't it? Thank you, Nan.
That's a point.
Yeah. Or let Lenny maybe do one where you go, thank you, Nan.
Maybe just for safety, do another one where we go, thank you, Nan, just because we don't know. We don't know.
Miss you.
Laura, what are you thinking?
You couldn't have reached your toenails if you'd had an operation on your back.
I've got little legs.
OK.
Hang on, you've also got little arms.
That's where Rob comes in.
All right, it's time to make a choice here, David.
OK. I'm trying to read your mind, as you rightly tell, so try and keep still. OK, I think it's true.
They think it's true. Lenny, was it true or was it a lie?
You can read minds well, it's true.
I once had a job where I had to answer the phone and say, hello, beef?
There we are, Lee's team. What do you think?
What was the job?
It was a job, it was an office job where... An
office job?
Yeah, an office job.
Right.
In an office job.
Yeah, I know what an office job is.
Yeah, with a
the
certain
word
type...
office I'm not confused with is the bit about the beef. Let's get into it.
It's a government department where we dealt with beef and lamb and suckling cows.
Right. So what was the government department exactly? What were they doing?
It was an agricultural department of Welsh government.
So they'd ring up and say, hello, beef, and the kind of questions they would ask you would be...
They'd say, it was all about identifying animals.
Identifying them?
Yeah.
So you go, hello, beef, and they go, I think you're just the man. I'm looking at a big black and white animal. It's saying moo. Can you help me? It's cow. I'm beef. Goodbye.
No. Well, either that or you might want to put them through the suckler cow. Depends if it was male or female.
What is a suckler cow?
I don't know. I only worked in beef.
Was this in Cardiff or something? Or?
No, it was in West Wales.
Was it in Carmarthen?
Carmarthen.
Kidwelly?
Carmarthen.
Haverfordwest?
Carmarthen.
Carmarthen?
You should work on the trains. The Welsh office is in Cardiff, but the Welsh office agriculture department, WOAD, is in Carmarthen.
So farmers would ring you up and ask you questions about
Farmers
beef?
would ring me up and they'd say, I've got an animal here, and it needs identification, and we would give them...
What do you mean identification?
We would give them cattle identification documents. It was the CID department, CID, cattle identification.
Stop it. I feel sick with confusion.
I worked in CID.
You worked in CID?
Cattle
now it makes sense. You worked in CID.
There's been a mooder.
CID was cattle identification document, so it's like a cow passport, and they'd ask us questions about
cow passport?
A cow passport. They'd ring up and they'd say, we've got a new cow in town.
So you'd send out the official documentation.
They would tell me the animal's details, and we would print up a CID, cattle identification document.
Because each one needed this. Everyone had to have this.
Every cow.
Oh, every cow, yes.
So what are you going to say then, Lee? Is he telling the truth?
Well, if you know a lot about cows. A little.
I've rung up departments of DEFRA and said hello, and they've said hello, beef.
Yeah.
True. And the whole WOAD thing, you wouldn't just come up with that.
Unless you were very quick and very clever.
OK, we'll go with true.
He's saying true. Rod, were you telling the truth?
It was... true!
Yes, it's true. Rod did once have a job where he had to ensure every cow had a passport. It's hard enough getting him into the...
I was sacked from my job at a zoo when my boss found out I had been taking photos of the animals wearing hats.
So, just to clarify, were you wearing the hats or the animals?
No, I was taking photos of the animals wearing hats.
Yes, just to clarify, were you wearing hats or...
Well, you think I was taking photos of animals while I was wearing multiple hats?
I would say that in the world of oddness, a man wearing 2 hats is no odder than an animal wearing 1.
Can you give us some examples of animal hat combos that you took photos of?
Yeah, I've done monkeys in bowler hats.
Of course. Yep.
I've done a hippo in a flat cap. And, well, I was going to call him a snake. It wasn't a snake. It was in the reptile house, but I don't know what he was, but he was wearing a fez.
Were these miniature hats? Can I ask, Rod? Were these little animal hats or human hats?
On the hippo? Are you mad?
No, but on the thing in the reptile house, I'm thinking a full-size fez is going to just hide the creature.
Yes, but what you're saying is, were the hats to scale?
Thank you. Rod, were the hats to scale?
The hats, well, I mean, to scale is a grand way of putting it, but I would certainly try and make the hat fit.
Right.
The top of a hippo's head is actually quite a slippery affair.
Oh, you've got to get the right hat.
Well, you
What was your official role at the zoo?
General dog's body, basically.
I get the feeling that if you were going to put hats on animals, you'd have gone for deer stalkers and bear skins, you know?
I didn't say I didn't. We just haven't got all the way through the animals.
OK.
Right. You name a hat, you name an animal.
Deer stalker?
No, I didn't do a deer stalker.
Oh.
I didn't have a deer stalker. It wasn't a comprehensive... You can't
but you had a
every
fez,
animal.
and you had a massive hippo-sized fez.
It was a regular flat cap.
So what you're saying
is I didn't have every single animal in the zoo, and it wasn't every hat. I didn't cross-reference every single combination of animal and hat. I just put some on some.
Rod, where was this zoo? Was this a Welsh zoo? Was it Penscunna Bird Gardens, for example?
It was down in Pembrokeshire, in a place called Oaksnade.
Oaksnade?
Yep.
There's a chain of snade zoos, isn't there? There's Oaksnade, Whipsnade...
And how did it all come to an end? What stopped this?
I got caught.
And who was it who apprehended you?
It was the manager of the zoo.
As a zoo owner and manager, I wouldn't have been offended. I can't see anyone being offended by a fez on a snake and a flat cap on a hippo. I'd have been...
Just what the zoo needs.
If it's down there in South Wales at this Oaksnade or something, I'd have thought any little hat on a cat would have done the
Why,
trick.
because it's a Welsh zoo? Our animals aren't good enough in their natural habitat. We'd better dress them up a bit. You racist bastard. Unbelievable. Well, David, what do you think?
Well, I'll ask my team first.
I mean, I've never heard of Oaksnade Zoo. Have you ever heard of Oaksnade Zoo?
Is that the most you doubt about that song?
OK, no.
I can't flat cap on a hippo.
Kenzie,
Oaksnade Zoo. Not having it.
My girlfriend owns a zoo. We tour zoos, and Oaksnade's never been on our agenda.
Oaksnade, the zoo that shares a syllable with Whipsnade. I think Mackenzie's right. That's the chink in the otherwise impenetrable armour of plausibility. That Oaksnade Zoo doesn't exist. I think we're very happy to say lie.
You're saying it's a lie, so, Rod, were you telling the truth or were you telling us a lie?
Well, chaps, I'm afraid I was telling a lie.
Yes, it was a lie. Rod wasn't sacked from his job at a zoo because he was caught taking photos of animals wearing hats.
I cannot go on airport travelators. The one and only time I did, I got so freaked out by how superhumanly fast I was walking, I had to be taken to the sick bay to calm down.
Lee, what do you think?
Right, I mean, just how fast would you say you were going?
Superhuman was the word I used.
OK, how fast would you define superhuman? Because I've got my own definition.
Have you? Well, what's yours?
I asked you first.
Let's just say it went very fast, I didn't like it.
So you're saying that you were on it, you had to be escorted off, taken to the sick bay?
I wasn't escorted off, I got off the end and then I sought assistance.
You felt nauseous, did you fall
That's
off?
right, I felt nauseous.
What's the difference between nauseous and nauseous? David, what's the difference between...
Excuse me, you could have asked me. Excuse me!
I mean,
I'm a human being!
I I'm imagining you'll refer me to David. David, what's the difference between nausea... Is it simply pronunciation?
I think it's simply pronunciation, Rob.
Oh,
yes.
OK. Thank you, David. As you were.
Shall I tell you another thing I don't like? It freaks me out when escalators don't work. You know, when you go up an escalator and you get up and you're exhausted and your legs are burning and you walk, they don't work, it's more tiring than the stairs, yet when you get to the top, you still fly off the end like that. That freaks me out. I don't like that feeling of lack of control. The escalator doesn't work, and yet you still fly off the top. Why is that?
I don't think you do fly off the top. I think that's
No, you do fly off the top,
your
David.
brain telling you a
No,
lie.
my brain doesn't tell me anything. Honestly, it does have...
Rob's brain does not tell him anything.
No.
Is that official, yeah?
What do you mean? It's not my brain telling me I'm
You're
flying off
saying
the
that
end.
we're on at the top of a stationary escalator, you in
Yes.
some way are thrown
Yes.
off the end of it
Yes.
as if it were...
As I described.
That's nothing to do with the electrical motor in the escalator that isn't turned on.
I'm not saying it is.
That's because you're using a certain amount of extra energy in order to go up some stairs,
Yes.
and then suddenly it seems easy to go on the... Well, you'll find that at the top of a normal flight of stairs.
No, you won't.
Yes, you will.
Nobody flies off the top of a normal stairs. Hang on a minute, let's have a go, shall we? Let's give it a little go. Oh, you're right, David. Oh, you're right. You're quite right.
What I'm going to tell you now, Rob, you may not be ready to hear. But the feeling of getting to the top of a normal flight of stairs
is not the same.
And the feeling of getting to the top of an escalator that is not turned on is the same.
It's not.
It is the same.
It's not.
It is the
It's
same.
not.
This is madness.
It's not. What you're saying? You started off saying it's
I'm not going to discuss it anymore. I've told you the information. At some point, you will accept it.
Yes.
Rob, you're on this travelator, OK?
I was, yeah.
And you didn't like the fact that you were going so fast. Is that, would that be a fair assessment?
Well, that's exactly what I said, so yes.
Yes. Why didn't you stop walking so you weren't going as fast?
I just don't like the way they kind of bump.
Tell you what.
They kind of shift along. I just don't like that.
Oh, it's the
feeling.
up and down motion.
Well, there's a
Why
little
didn't you-
cushion padding in it, yes.
You could have walked backwards and then you'd been standing still.
Yes, I know, but
If you judge the speed right.
All right, but I had a plane to catch, David.
So what do you think, Lee?
Tess, what do you think?
Well, I'm trying to read his body language, because I'm a woman and we do intuition very well. He's very laid back. He seems very committed.
Very
I think
committed,
he might
very
be telling the
confident,
truth.
very laid back.
Yes.
What about you,
I just think he's telling the truth.
I think he.
Thank you, Des.
I think he might be telling the truth.
You're saying true?
Am I?
True.
True. True. Rod, truth or lie?
It is a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. Of course, Rod can use airport travelators. It's Rod.
I once dug up my dead hamster and gave it a wash.
What age were you when you bought it?
Oh.
And what age were you when it bought it?
Oh, God. When I bought it, I must have been 25.
25? Sorry, what? 25?
6.
So I think we were...
6.
So I must say, I was thinking it would have been...
I don't know
during your
exactly. I
childhood.
did not record my age when I went into the
So you
shop.
bought it...
Okay, but we're not
Not to use it
splitting
like that.
hairs between 23 and 24
Mid-twenties.
here, right? You weren't 9, is what we're basically getting here.
No, I tell you what, maths really is your strong point.
Yeah. Well, the point is, who in their 20s buys a hamster?
I like the fact that it doesn't seem unusual that he dug it up and washed it. That's all right.
Did you
You
wash
had a
it?
hamster in your mid-20s?
Did you wash
Surely
it?
that's not the bit you should be focusing on.
Did the hamster have a name?
Yes, so his name was... Yanto.
How's that spelled?
I-A-N-T-O, I think.
Does it have,
To be honest, I never had cause to write the name down.
You don't have to worry about the spelling of any pets, really. They just crop on.
I think there are times when you have to write... You might be writing an email with news to a loved one. By the way, Yanto's looking peaky.
You're quite right, I did
Did
once...
you not put a little tombstone, thus making it easy for you later to dig him up and wash him?
He did have a tombstone, yeah, of sorts, yes.
And did he not have Yanto written on the tombstone?
Tragically, there was already something written on his tombstone.
What was it not?
It was a lollipop stick.
It had a joke on it.
The hamster died and you buried it where?
In the garden.
How long was it under the earth before you dug it up? Was it sort of months later?
No, probably a day or two.
Was it in a container, a sort of hamster coffin?
It was in a container, yeah.
What was the container?
It was in a smoothie bottle.
A smoothie bottle?
He was in a smoothie bottle. How did you get the hamster into the smoothie bottle?
With the lolly stick.
No, I took the top off and just pushed him in.
You sort of forced him in? So I imagine...
I had to, he was dead. I tried persuading him, but it didn't work.
And then how would you get the hamster out to wash it?
Or did you put the water in the bottle, put the lid back on, give it a shake, and then take the lid off, and then...
No, you wouldn't want to put water in. You'd want to put lots of fizzy drink in, shake it up, and he's out. And then you go...
The thing that we haven't established in all of this is why you felt you had to clean him.
Because he had like a strawberry Mohican. It was gone stiff.
There's still strawberry stuff in there?
Yeah, I hadn't rinsed it out properly.
And you were racked with guilt?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Can you describe the washing?
If I'm honest, the washing of him doesn't stand out that much in my... It was a fairly straightforward rinse and blow dry, as I remember.
Not a blow dry. Come on, you didn't blow dry him.
In the kitchen...
Been anywhere nice on your holidays?
What's...
Do you want a cup of tea or anything?
Did you run the hamster under the kitchen tap?
I washed as much of that strawberry smoothie out of his sticky, brittle hair as I could. We said our goodbyes and buried him in the garden.
So did you feel like you'd done the right thing?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Thanks, Rob. I did, yeah.
That's good. That's good to know.
That's
Do you think he's telling the truth?
I don't.
No.
Maybe a quick flick under the tap, but I don't think he'd spend time scrubbing down the...
So you're saying lie?
We're saying it's a lie.
Saying it's a lie.
Yeah.
Rod, the hamster, the burial, the resurrection. Is it the truth, or were you telling a lie?
Obviously, it's true.
Well, it's true, and it's very upsetting.
I once had a holiday in a Frenchman's garage.
Can I check if this is a euphemism? Seriously, how old were you, roughly? I don't mean go, 17.
38.
30... Oh, this is quite recently.
when it happened?
Yeah. So you're 38, right?
Yeah.
You're in France. Where was the garage?
France.
Whereabouts in France?
Northern France.
Whereabouts in northern France?
Brittany.
In Britain. So you ended up in Brittany.
Southern Brittany.
Southern Brittany.
Okay.
And you
The northern end of southern Britain.
Oh, that's just south of mid-Brittany, isn't it?
Mid-Brittany.
Yeah.
What's the name of the town that you were in? Were you in
The
a town?
town where I stayed in the Frenchman's garage
was...
Van.
You're in the van in the garage?
No. The town...
Is this how this mix-up happened? I want a holiday in a van.
Rod, let me speak to you as another Welshman. Maybe he'll understand me.
Ask me a nice specific question.
Did you book a holiday in a Frenchman's garage?
No, I once had a holiday.
When you arrived in the village or town called Van...
Yeah, Van, yeah.
Did you already know you will be staying in a garage?
No.
Were all the hotels booked?
No. We thought it looked nice in the brochure.
Who did?
Me and my partner.
Partner?
Girlfriend.
Girlfriend?
Now wife.
Blimey, that was a quick 10 seconds.
OK. So you were going to Van...
We went to Van.
Right.
Went to a tourist information place to...
Because you hadn't booked anywhere?
We hadn't booked anywhere.
I'm with you.
Right. What happens at the tourist information place?
They said, what about this place? And we said, that looks nice.
Lovely.
There's a house with a nice pool.
Lovely.
Looked nice in the picture,
Yeah.
so we went there.
So you got there. And when you got there...
It was a garage. The house was nice, but we were in the garage.
Was the garage decked out to look like a room, or was it just spanners and...
It looked like a room with a canoe on the side and a fuse box.
Am I old before my time? But
yes.
At 38, you don't go on a crazy, we're not going to book where we're going. At 38, you want to know where you're going. We've got a nice,
I'm with you,
comfy
Hal.
room. You know, if it is true, you totally deserve what happened to you.
I didn't say I didn't enjoy it.
So you liked the sort of... It was a deliberate rough
No, it was
and
a
tumble.
disaster.
How did you stay for in the garage?
2 weeks.
You stayed for 2 weeks? How much did you pay?
It was very reasonable.
I'm surprised! Did it have any windows in the garage?
No.
And you said there was a swimming pool?
Yeah, they had a swimming pool.
You were allowed to use it?
No.
I can't help thinking that what you're describing is more of a hostage scenario. And what about Mrs. Gilbert? She wasn't Mrs. Gilbert then, but how did she react? Because she's looking at you, Rod, the tall, strapping, handsome Welshman, what everyone dreams of. And you whisked her there. Was there not a little part of her that died that day when she saw what you expected her to
She wasn't very well, if I remember rightly.
Was it carbon monoxide or exhaust fumes? All right, Lee, it's a complex tale. What do your team think?
Absolute lie.
It's a lie?
Absolutely.
Really? Mm-hmm. Based on just the floundering?
Absolutely everything.
Like what? All right, it did have windows.
What are you thinking, Hal?
It's like he's throwing in things that seem so ridiculous. And
No, but nobody would go and stay in a garage without windows.
But I think
they
he's
wouldn't.
throw
You're
things
Kelly
on
Hoppen, though, Kelly. He's Rod Gilbert. OK, what's it going to be, Lee? Truth or lie?
Lie.
Lie?
Lie.
Lie. I think it's true, but I'll go with my team and say it's a lie.
You're going to say lie. OK, Rod. Garage holiday in France. Truth or lie?
Garage holiday in the Frenchman's garage in Van. True.
Yes, it was all true. Rod did once have a holiday in a Frenchman's garage.
One Friday after school, I swapped our family cat for a Scotch egg and a Smurf. When my mum found out on Monday morning, she made me swap them back.
Right. Well, when was this, first of all? How old were you?
13.
But more important than how old was he or anything to do with him, the cat. What? I mean, seriously, we're very concerned about the cat. I am.
I'm a bit more concerned about the Smurf, if I'm going to be honest.
I'm most concerned, the Scotch egg, what was your logic? Would you hide it under your bed for a whole weekend?
Why don't you three have a little chat, and when you worked out collectively what you're most concerned about, come back.
Can I start?
Please do.
Okay. What was the cat called? What kind of cat? What colour, please?
The cat was called Snowdrop, and as the name implies, it was tortoiseshell.
Who did you swap with?
Should I name him?
I don't know, unless he's in prison at the moment and he's...
I don't know, I haven't seen him for a long time. It was a kid who lived on an estate nearby.
Just give us his first name.
Lee.
Just with the Scotch egg, you wanted the Scotch egg. You wanted the Scotch egg so badly that you traded a living mammal for it, and then you just put it under your bed for 48 hours.
To be fair, trading a Scotch egg for a living mammal is exactly what's necessary in the manufacture process of a Scotch egg. You start off... People have decided they have live pigs, but they don't like the live pigs enough. What they want is no pigs, but Scotch eggs.
Right. Why did you want the Scotch egg? I presume for the obvious that you like them and you wanted to eat it.
Yes.
Why didn't you just eat it there and then?
Why didn't I just eat...
You said you swapped them back again on the Monday.
So why
that suggests you still had the Scotch
Well, hang
egg
on. I
the
mean,
Monday.
was it the same one, or had you consumed it and then you just had to give a Scotch egg back?
That's right, Rob.
It's like the bloody Welsh Mafia, this. You can't help him out.
Could I get back to the cat? Cats obviously are very territorial, so would the cat not try and come home? Because they normally do if they've gone out away.
He didn't. Not that weekend.
Talk us through the actual exchange process.
I tell you what, Rob, you stand up. We'll go through it. Come on,
I am standing up.
I'll role play it with you. Right. OK, so imagine I've got my family cat in my hand.
All right.
And you in with this hand, you have a Scotch egg.
Where are we now, Rod? Where are we? We're in Wales. Are we in Wales?
We're in Wales.
Oh.
We're in Wales.
Isn't that nice? Let's just take a minute. Let's just take a minute. It's lovely. Go on.
Right. So we're in Wales.
Yeah.
I've got a cat in my hand.
All right.
Right. You've got in this hand a Smurf and a Scotch egg.
Yes.
Right, now we swap them over.
All right, here we go.
Right,
this is how it happens.
This is going to be difficult.
Yeah.
my lord, and it was the mechanics of the exchange.
Wow. You can put the cat down now.
But gently, Rob, gently, yes.
So what do you think, Lee? Does this sound truthful to you?
I don't think he's shown any affection for Snowdrop, and on that basis alone, I think it can't be true.
Well, weirdly, the exact same reason, I think it is true, because I know him to be heartless.
I can show you some affection. What do you want to know about Snowdrop? I can show affection with Snowdrop.
All right, how would you stroke him?
Her.
Nah, got ya. That, you have changed the sex of that cat at least 3 times.
I promise you, even
You have!
I don't think vets should agree to do that.
It's always been a female cat, Snowdrop.
What are you thinking, Rob? Are you thinking it's the truth?
It's really starting to crumble at the end here, so I'm smelling a lie.
Both saying a lie. My team say lie. We will go with lie.
OK, you're saying lie. Rod, truth or lie?
It is a lie.
Yes, it was a lie. Rod didn't swap his family cat for Scotch egg and a smirk. Nick.
A mistake I made in France meant someone in England got hospitalised.
Lee's team.
Have you just learned to read?
Was the mistake you made in the French language?
It's a simple question, Rod. Was it in the French?
Was it in the language of
Right.
the
It's a
French?
simple question with a simple answer.
Right.
Yes, it
Can
was.
you tell us the mistake you made, please?
The mistake I made got somebody hospitalised. That was the...
I didn't say... No. That's not worthy of the clap. No. What was the mistake?
What was the mistake?
Say.
Lee, I'll take it from here. What was the nature of this mistake?
It was a language thing. It was a French-English mix-up. It was a mix-up, a terrible mix-up, language mix-up.
What were you doing in France?
I was on the phone. I was in France. I was working in France, and I was on the phone.
Working in France.
I was on the phone to England, and I made a mistake with my French-English translation.
Who received the mistake?
A girl. A girl.
What was her name?
Anne.
What colour hair does she have?
I don't know. She was on the phone.
So you never met her?
I never met her.
So can you talk us through the incident?
I was asked by someone in France. They said, "Can you talk to somebody in England?"
Why did they ask you to do that?
Because they didn't speak English.
Right. What was the relationship between Anne and the person that had asked you to talk?
Oh, that was Anne's father said, "Can you speak to Anne? She's in England and we're in France. And ask her what's wrong with her."
How did you know him? What was
How
the
did you know him? There's a new angle.
Oh, I knew him. Well, you should have asked. I knew him because I worked in France. I was in a school. I worked in a school. He was the caretaker.
What were you doing in school?
I was teaching English.
Now, his daughter, she's French.
Yes.
She's living in England.
Yeah.
Now.
No, she wasn't living. She was on a very short exchange thing.
Right. Now, in the words of Question of Sport, what happened next?
He came to me, he said, "Can you talk to my daughter, Anne? She's ill, she's in England." She couldn't speak to the family she was with. That's the problem. That's the problem.
So she didn't know how to speak to the family?
She couldn't speak to the family because the
How
family
is
was
you
English.
speaking to her going to help that?
Right, here's the situation. Anne could talk to her dad and tell her what was wrong with her in French, but he couldn't say that to the family because they didn't speak French and he didn't speak English. So he came to me, who spoke both languages. I went to her, I spoke to her in French, then I passed it on to the family in English. What's wrong with them? I passed that on to him in English, then I passed it back to him in French. Everyone's happy.
Now,
she got...
You said that you made a mistake that caused this person to be hospitalised.
That's right, I did, yeah.
What did you do wrong? What did you say wrong?
Yeah.
I said, qu'est-ce qui se passe, qu'est-ce qui se passe, qu'est-ce qui se passe, all that, you know, as you do. And she said, j'ai une angine, j'ai une angine.
Was she stuck in the bell tower? I know what's wrong with her. Is this something to do with her back?
J'ai une angine.
And what is that? What does that mean?
Well, I said, I got the English family on the phone and I said, "Hey, she's got an angina. She got angina."
And that's a mistake, right?
Well, angina, I found out later, is a serious heart condition, so she was hospitalised.
But what was wrong with her?
Angine is a sore throat. I didn't know that at the time.
And what happened? Did they then rush her to this hospital?
They called 999 and got her into hospital, yeah.
Nuff.
OK, so Lee, what are you thinking? Could it be true?
I don't think Anne is a French name. That's the one bit in it that I don't believe.
Anne-Marie?
Is she?
Don't know.
What an absolutely amazing answer.
That's one of the funniest things anybody's ever said.
I believe it to be true.
You believe it to be true?
Mm-hmm.
OK.
It was so torturous getting that story out that it has to be the truth.
Yeah.
Lee, you think so too?
It could not be any truer.
Rod, truth or lie?
Of course, it is true.
Rod, you're next.
For 1 month, I chose to sleep on the streets rather than talk to the people I was supposed to be living with.
David's team.
And at what stage in your life was this?
What stage?
Yes.
Do you mean how old was I?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Age 20.
Whereabouts? Where was it?
Spain.
What made you vacate your house?
There was no house, and I never went to it.
You never went there at all?
It was a hotel or hostel thing, you know, not a house. Yeah. I went there, stood outside.
OK.
Looked at it.
Yeah.
Thought, nah.
So it wasn't the people, it was the...
It was the idea of the people.
You wanted to live alone and were surprised that a hostel didn't afford that possibility.
And you stayed on the street for a whole month?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, bar a couple of nights here or there, yeah.
Did you pull on the other nights? What happened on those?
You're absolutely right, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So on those occasions, the thought of other people wasn't quite so loathsome?
Yes.
Where in Spain was this?
It was in Salamanca, and I slept on a bench, right dead centre of a square.
How were you washing your clothes?
I didn't.
Well, how many pairs of pants did you have?
I'm going to say 4, but...
4 for a month without washing them?
I said 4, but it could have been 7.
Well, 7's not enough. You need 28, otherwise you're an animal.
No, but I hate to support your own teammate against you, Lee. If you're going to a place for a month, you might decide that you're not going to take enough underwear to have a fresh pair of pants every day without ever washing them.
How many pairs of pants do you own?
I think I've probably got about... I've got maybe...
Look at you, desperately thinking... Was this the right answer? David, there's nothing right or wrong. You're amongst friends.
I think I've got about 14 pairs I'm happy with.
Yeah.
And another 4 or 5 that would do at a pinch, and I use the word advisedly.
Predominantly boxers or bikini brief?
Predominantly... I mean, it's interesting that this is what the conversation's going on to. Predominantly what I believe is referred to as a sort of trunk.
You favour the trunk?
Yeah.
I think you mean the jockey short. Like a boxer short shape, but tighter.
Look, I'll just take my trousers off and you can look.
I did wash a pair of pants.
Oh, you remember that?
It's amazing how these things come back to you.
The reason I chose the middle of the square was because there was a bin lorry that would come round every morning in concentric circles, just spraying from the side of the lorry, hosing down the square. I would stay in the middle, and then I would wash in the bin lorry when it got to the centre. And one day I did wash a pair of pants on the hose on the side of the bin lorry. I did.
Wow.
I did.
So you
hi, girls. This is my friend Rod. Would you like a drink?
You put a pair of pants in the way of a bin lorry's hose to wash it.
I used to wash in the bin lorry, well, the tap at the side of the bin lorry, yeah.
So they wouldn't mind you sauntering up to the bin lorry and turning the tap on?
No, they were very amenable, the local bin men, Miguel.
Are you going to
Did you learn the phrase, can I wash my pants on the side of your bin lorry in Spanish?
Se puede lavarme los... what's underpants in Spanish, Rob?
Pantalondero.
Sí. Pantalondero.
How many pants have you got, Rob?
I was just given a gift. It was my birthday recently, not that you'd know from any response from you. And...
I didn't know you were still alive. What did you get for your birthday?
Oh, sorry, yeah, I got some...
Old man who forgot the story. I got a lovely present anyway. On with the game. Do you remember, Rob, you were telling us a lovely story about your pants? Tell us about your pants.
I got some pants.
Yeah.
Now,
yes.
So, Ronan Keating, What do you think?
Yeah, I could see him doing that.
Toff, what about you?
I think it's a completely insane thing to do what you did, so I think you're lying.
There is a lot of detail. I'm going to go true.
You're saying it's true. OK, Rod. Was it the truth, or was it a lie?
It was a... true!
Insane. Yes, it's true.
I once had to share flip-flops with a friend after losing one of mine on a hike.
Is that it?
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether I lost a flip-flop or a friend.
David's team.
How did that work? What was the system?
Where were you?
We were in Thailand, going to a full moon party, David.
That's not hiking then, is it?
Yeah.
Like, you don't hike to a full moon party. I've been to the full moon party. There was no hiking involved.
Yeah. You probably got the bus there, did you?
I did get the bus there. That's a good point.
That's right.
What's a full moon party? Everyone else seems to know.
Well, let's start with the party first. Do you know what that is?
Yes, it's a group of individuals of the same political persuasion, and in totalitarian circumstances, it can become dominant.
There's a certain island in Thailand where every month they have a full moon. The full moon is out and there's a big party on the beach. So we thought we'll go to that, we'll have a bit of that. Me and my friend.
Yeah.
We thought we'd go round the headland. It's only about an hour, they said, to walk around the headland. But we set off in flip-flops. Bad idea.
What time of day?
Oh, midday, probably.
Midday? Yeah. But it's a full moon party.
Yeah.
You've
got to get there early, David.
You're planning to get there at lunchtime and then just wait for dusk.
We thought we'd have a bit of lunch. We'll make a day of it.
Rod, jump to the moment now where you have to share the flip-flops.
Right, so two of us, two flip-flops each. 4 flip-flops, 2 people. That went on really well for about an hour until I lost a flip-flop.
How?
Yeah. Leapt across a rock, waves crashing below, hot, jaggedy rocks, and flip-flop fell in the water. Gone. 3 flip-flops, 2 people. Carried on like that for an hour. My friend going on a few metres in 2 flip-flops, then throwing a flip-flop back to me. I put his flip-flop on with my other flip-flop, and I caught him up. That went on for quite a while, that system.
I'm not clear on that system.
Here it is. This is me, this is him.
Yeah.
He goes forward in his 2 flip-flops.
Yes.
Throws a flip-flop back to me.
Yeah.
I put his flip-flop on, and I catch him up.
This is the exact chat they have in the Welsh football dressing room.
So that system went on well for a while.
Yeah.
Until he throws the flip-flop. I fumble the catch and lose the next flip-flop. Now we're 2 flip-flops, 2 people. So he goes on a few metres in his 2 flip-flops. I wait in bare feet. He throws both flip-flops back to me, and then I catch him up. That goes on quite well for about an hour. Until you never guess what happens. He throws the flip-flop back to me. I fumble it, down it goes. Now we're on 1 flip-flop, 2 people. And then you'll never guess what happened next. What? A Dutch bloke came round with 2 shoes on. We then tell him the system that's been going on. He said, well, we won't continue with that. We'll all take 1 shoe each. And we hopped.
Did you make it to the party?
We made it to the beach where the party was.
Yes.
And then we thought, we don't fancy it now.
No.
How did you get back?
Bus. We took the bus that Jamali had took.
The bus.
But what they did was one person got on the bus, the other one walked ahead, then the bus overtook them and he got off the bus and he got on.
Yeah.
What do you think? Rosie, what do you think? Does it strike you as true?
Well, the whole story, Rod comes across as an idiot, so, yeah, true.
What do you think?
I think it's lies.
Why?
Because this Dutch guy just came from nowhere.
Yeah.
And
he came from Holland.
Maybe that's why it's a lie, because if it was a real Dutch guy, he would be wearing clogs.
Yes, that's right.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
What's it going to be, David?
Do I think it's true?
Ask yourself that.
Yes, I do.
Right. Rod, was it true or was it a lie?
It was true.